Camera. How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Woo! What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Giants Rush, where we talk Giants football. I don't know. I say the same thing every week. 50 weeks of the year, we're here. We're the podcast you love to hate. We don't disappoint. We come strong every single week, 7:30, sometimes till 9 o'clock. We're talking Giants football. We had Lori Rubinson on from WFAN. We have Ryan Dunleavy on with us pretty much every week. He'll be back next week after the Super Bowl. Give a shout out to Julian Love and Leonard Williams, ex-Giants, who just won a Super Bowl last night. We got plenty to talk about. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually 5, but 6 coaching opportunities that are rolling into the Giants. And so there's 5 or 6 different coaches we could talk about. We're going to talk about potentially trading Kayvon Thibodeau, or maybe, looking for some leverage there since he's coming into his 5th-year option at $14.7 million. I've got Shawn with me. Who knows where the rest of the team is? Nails is out getting those 21-inch biceps. I don't know where Spartan Mike is. I don't know where Truth is. I don't know where Christian is. So I'm going to roll it with my guy, Shawn. You know exactly who he is. But I can do this all by myself. Why can I do that by myself?
It's got to be the king.
I love the windmill, the Shockey windmill. Can't beat that sucker. Throwing those bones, baby. We also are going to talk a little bit about Dart. We'll also talk about a Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver that endorsed Nagy, which I know we're all a little bit like, is he really the right dude? So we're going to talk about all that stuff. I see you guys piling in the room. I could probably, since there's only 2 of us, I can put your comments up here. What's up, Daniel? Putting you up there. And let's not forget this guy.
You can call me.
Wow, that ends too fast. That always ends fast. I'm waiting for that riff, and then boom, it's over. And you're here. What's up? You're on mute. You're wasting all that good talking on being on mute.
I did. Well, I was on mute so you could talk and do all your talking you're doing. So, there you go. I said I love the intro. I love the beginning. I love the end. It just gets it right in. So the riff's perfect.
I know.
Oh,
I need one more. I need one more bar, one more riff.
Greedy.
Yeah, I am.
I keep it. We had to cut it off at a certain point so that intro can stay. So
well, look,
It's got to be the king.
so I can be greedy is all I wanted, right? Here's a celebration to America. I'm having a beer
All right.
because I'm celebrating America and I am celebrating Julian Love and Leonard Williams. It just happened to be that the Stars and Stripes are on
Right.
the back.
Nice.
So cheers to those gentlemen
Sure.
for winning a Super Bowl, which, by the way, not an easy thing to do. 12 teams still do not have a Super Bowl win.
They do not. And what I love about the Super Bowl, well, two things. Number one, you had two defensive-minded head coaches in the Super Bowl, and you had a former defensive coordinator who actually called the plays for the defense, winning first ever. So defense is back. Defense is back. Defense wins championships.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, like you said, like I love the fact that the Super Bowl is like just this holiday, right? It sucks that it's on a Sunday. I would have preferred on a Saturday, without a doubt. I know at some point in time they're gonna move that to a Saturday, but it's just something that like when there's no football, there's no sports going on, like you look forward to that one day for the NFL. It's pretty cool. Even though I didn't go, like it was the first year in a while. Well, when the Eagles go to the Super Bowl, I don't even watch the game. I can't even watch the Eagles play in the Super Bowl. But it was just like low key, watching the game at home yesterday, which was a little bit rare. But it's just so cold; it's tough to go places. I mean, Saturday night here, Shawn, it was 6 degrees.
Wow,
brutal! Like it's brutal. So anyway, very cool Super Bowl. I like that. It's refreshing. New teams, some good personalities on both those teams.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch a lot of the pre and post hoopla and all that media coverage because I find it over the top annoying now. But again, very cool celebration for congrats to the Seahawks. Let's talk some Giants. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, let's talk Giants.
All right, let's talk some Giants, and we're going to start off with this. See, I like that too. Great tune. Love, hate. In the offseason, we do love, hate. So I'm going to open this. It's only me and you. We're going to open this puppy up to something that you love about the new Giants.
Sure.
And something that you hate. And you can hate something. It's okay because we're not really hating. We can say love and disagree or love and not excited about, right?
There may be some things down the road that we hate. Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So give me one thing that right now, and give me something out of the ordinary. It's easy to love John Harbaugh, right? I mean, it's easy to love that. Give me something new, fresh, something new that you'll love.
Well, I love how the coaching staff has been put together. It's not big name hunting. It's not just hiring coaches to hire coaches. I love the fact that it's complementary. The entire staff feed off each other with strengths, weaknesses, it's all together. It's like a unit. It's not like, hey, we got this great coach. We got this great coach. We got guys that work well together, complement each other. It's again, there's a strategy behind the coaching hires. That's what I really like. And I don't think a lot of people are thinking that way. They're looking at names, who we got, who we didn't get. Oh, well, that's not a good hire because I don't know that guy. Never heard of that guy. I love that everything that I'm seeing is, okay, this staff is going to be the sum of its parts as opposed to, oh, we got this really great coach. Well, now everybody's together. You know what I'm saying, Craig?
I do. And that steals a little bit of my thunder. Give me something. It's fine. That's right. It's right up your alley. Give me something that you, again, hate in a loose way. Something that you're not, maybe you thought they would do it different, or maybe it's not about like just the Giants. Maybe it has something to do with the Giants in the NFL or something to do with, give me something that there's a thorn in your side right now.
Sure. I hate the fact that everybody keeps talking about Julian. We let Julian Love walk away. We did not let Julian Love walk away. We offered him a pretty good contract offer in the bye week. He turned it down thinking he wanted more money. And let's be realistic. Yes, he got an interception in the Super Bowl, but it's probably the easiest interception that anybody could ever give. So I'm not hating on the dude. It's not like he was some all-star when he was here. He went to Seattle. He played better. He's done a good job there, but it's not like he was any bit of this player when he was here. And again, they offered him. He turned it down. The money went elsewhere. We signed other people. Things happened. and then he went to Seattle. So that's what's driving me nuts. And all this. Oh, we traded Leonard. Yeah, well, half the fan base, 3/4 of the fan base wanted Leonard Williams to be traded, and we got Brian Burns in the thing. So this whole all these former Giants once a Giant, always Giant doesn't apply to everybody with certain things. Leonard Williams didn't even start his career here. I like Leonard Williams. I didn't want him traded. So let me be clear on that. But I'm just tired of this. All these former Giants won the Super Bowl. Man, it's just to push a narrative, and I'm tired of narrative. Let's move on. It's a whole new era, a whole new regime.
Yep, I love it. All right, so I'm going to give you my what I love right now is and one of the personalities said this so well. I love that Jackson Dart is a star already.
Yeah,
and he's like he's a star. And he's not quite a football star yet, right? But he's a star. Like he has this magnetic presence. He's getting endorsements. People want to be around him. They're talking about him. They're interviewing him wherever he goes.
Yep.
I love the fact that I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think he's got a lot to prove next year, and he's stepping up to the plate. I love that he's still tight with Scatterboo, and he's like, I got this killer friendship, and with this great player, it's not even like they played against each other. You know what I mean? Like, there's just some kind of connection. So I love to see that Jackson Dart's growing into, this off the field kind of hero as much as he is on the field. Just, I like where the person's going, right?
Right. Yep.
He's out there. He's talking about Giants football. He's talking about his buddy Scat. I think I hate the Super Bowl on Sunday. I wish it was on a Saturday, but that's not totally Giant related. But I was thinking about, the whole system, right? Like with the bye week and you push in these games like into February, it's like, then the NFL wants to push for 18 games, right? I wish they would. I'm again, like, I like 16 games. I hate that the Giants have 17 games.
Right.
I like 16. I don't want to go to 18, but, I was just thinking about the Giants were making some concessions with the NFL because they want to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the 86 team. So they're at the NFL if they could be home, which got me thinking about all the nuances with the schedule and, when you play and when you don't play. So I'm not a big fan of the Super Bowl being late in February, and I don't like that, that we're just constantly pushing the game further and further and further into the month and on a Sunday. So hopefully when the Giants get there in 2 years, they won't be, maybe it'll be earlier in February. Just, I don't know.
Well, later in February puts it closer to President's Day, and then that's a national holiday.
You could have the Monday off. Yeah.
You could have the Monday off, which next year will happen because next year it falls on Valentine's Day, which is a Sunday, and it also puts it on the holiday as well, I believe. So we got our first taste of that.
It's just really deep if your team is out, earlier December, right? And I don't like 2 weeks of bye weeks and stuff like that. So
I get it.
But that's I don't have a lot to complain about right now. Like I like everything the Giants are doing. Yes, sometimes, but I love the fact that Dart and Scatterboo are out there representing the Giants. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, and again, I had no beef with. I didn't love Daniel Jones. I didn't hate Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones just wasn't out there being seen. And the only guy, like Dexter Lawrence isn't out there being seen, right? I mean, this cat is leading the way for the team, saying, "Hey, I'm out here because I want everybody to recognize Giants football," and I like that.
Yep.
So, all right, cool. All right, so easy segue off of love hate. That was a pretty abbreviated, easy one. Let's talk about the coaches, right?
Yes.
Let me pop this up on here. Harbaugh fills out the coaching staff. There are a ton of movement on the coaching staff.
Yes.
If you're not keeping up with it, I'm going to go through it here in a sec. So, by the way, I see a bunch of you guys piling in. Daniel, Mark, I see Jake, I see Rob, I see the other Mark ID. Oh, yeah. Descent into Madness. Again, DIM. I'm going to have to call him. Dim. Oh, I don't mean you're dim. I'm just trying to look for an acronym there. Right? Was it SLONG to say Descent into Madness? Let's see. Oh, yeah. And even Mr. Kessler's has just shown up. What's up, Mr. Kessler? Okay. Back to coaching.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of coaching moves that I don't really make the headlines, right? So I'm going to go through a couple of them, get your opinion.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. So I'll start off with the smaller moves. Okay. So the Giants have added a big dog in the house.
Yeah.
That's a big that is a big bark.
Golden retriever. Yeah, he heard something. So yeah.
He's like, "What's up?" He's like, "Did somebody say I said big dog?" He said, "Who's that, me?"
Yeah.
All right, the Giants have added a gentleman by the name of Matt Robinson. Okay. Matt Robinson was the Ravens outside linebacker coach and the assistant defensive line coach, okay, for the Ravens. Two really cool things here if you like to read into why coaches do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You said to me a couple minutes ago, you're talking about hiring smart coaches, right?
Yes.
And that you thought Harbaugh wasn't making splashy choices. He was making like strategic choices, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay. So think about this.
Okay.
Matt Robinson was the Giants' outside linebacker coach, right?
Yep.
Right now, Charlie Bullen, who was being retained as the outside linebacker coach, is now interviewing for defensive coordinator jobs across the league.
Yep.
If Matt Robinson, which is now, in the fold and hired by Harbaugh, you wouldn't lose an outside linebacker coach. He would easily, if Bullen left, Matt Robinson can step into that position.
Absolutely.
So we have two outside linebacker coaches, right?
Right.
Bullen as the
well, he's the assistant D-line coach right now. That's what he was hired as, Matt Robinson. So with Harbaugh realizing, because Bullen had an interview for the Cowboys DC, he's now had Arizona. So he knew that Bullen was going to get some interest. So to your point, yes, if Bullen goes, he may move Robinson over to outside linebackers if need be. But right now he's assistant D-line.
Yep. Very strategic move by Harbaugh.
Absolutely.
But I looked into Matt Robinson because I wanted to know a little bit more about what he was known for. Okay. And you know what came back? What
came back? I don't know. Tell me.
All right. You're going to love this.
All right.
Ravens pass rush has always been pretty dang good.
Yes, it has.
That they considered Matt Robinson because he's, an assistant D-line coach. He was the driving force behind the pass rush. He was considered the X's and O's guy that built the plays that the pass rush was built on.
Okay.
So another really strategic move by bringing him in potentially as a linebacker coach if necessary, but bringing new schemes for Burns, Thibs, Dexter, and Carter, which we all know we couldn't stand anything that Shane Bowen did and just basically just botched that whole thing. This guy is considered the X's and O's guy behind the pass rush of the Baltimore Ravens.
So he's a teacher, in other words, is what you're saying, which is what we've needed and what Harbaugh talked about as introductory press conferences. He wanted teachers here, right?
Not only teacher, but what's the word I would schematically unique, right? He's bringing different looks and rushes and twists and stunts to the line, which is perfect for what we need. Now, let's double down here. Ready?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
We're doubling down on this theme because this has a theme.
Okay. I trust you.
The second move, is a gentleman by the name of Addison Lynch.
Yes, good hire. Very good hire.
So Addison Lynch was the Broncos defensive back coach.
Yep.
And he was also defensive quality control. He did 1 year with the Raiders as their DB coach, and he did 1 year as quality control. So I started thinking about, like, he's been since 2018, he's basically split time between defensive quality control and defensive backs, right?
Okay. Yep.
So now I start thinking about, okay, well, if there's any problems, with coaching up the corners, our defensive coordinator was a defensive back.
Right.
So so Wilson can focus, right? Can focus on the corners in the safety play, right? Kind of like maybe being a little heavy-handed there, right? But be getting those guys to play better, because he doesn't need to worry about the D line play and the backer play, because he's got Matt Robinson doing D line and potentially outside linebackers. Each one of these hires has like a double role, right? So if you start looking at it, it's not just I do one thing. Wilson, defensive coordinator, really focused on defensive backs, safeties, and corners. Bullen can be a defensive coordinator, but coaching the outside linebackers. Matt Robinson, assistant D-line coach, but can also coach the outside linebackers and has. And now they add on Addison Lynch, which has a defensive back. He's a little on the green side, right? He's a little bit on the newer side, but he also has a defense quality control aspect. So I think these guys all have dual roles, which brings, I think, more like validity, or they're more well-rounded than I don't do that. You know what I mean? Like these guys all have the ability to have information and knowledge at other positions.
I agree. So I'll add two other points to that, one of which I mentioned last week. So we know the back end was a big problem for the Giants last year. So now you have a defensive coordinator whose specialty is back end. You brought in Delacio, who's back end safeties. You've got Lynch now, who's cornerbacks, and our head coach is used to coach cornerbacks. So the focus is going to be improving that back end, because they know the front seven is pretty good, or at least the front four is pretty good. Yeah. Then also, when you look at Denard Wilson, Mike McDonald, who just won the Super Bowl, also coached defensive backs and linebackers, but he started off as a defensive back coach. Yep. So Harbaugh, who McDonald was defense coordinator under John Harbaugh, is looking at somebody who could be a Mike McDonald clone with that. So now you have a defense, and I mentioned this on Twitter last night too, is Denard Wilson learned under Mike McDonald. So he's got that to him. So in that defense, they said that defense for Tennessee, let's not look at the results, because we know what the injury riddled and all that. It's going to be very similar to what the Seattle Seahawks defense. So again, everything is done for a reason. Harbaugh knows what he wants. He has a vision. He's now executing that vision.
All right, so let's keep moving down the ranks. There are. You mentioned Delicio. If you don't know about Donald Delicio, he worked under Spags in KC for 4 years. You don't think that this guy is going to bring some of that Spags with him, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, 4 years you're there, you're going to be influenced by what the guy does, right?
And he's developed some really good safeties. And what was the problem for our secondary the last 2 years? Safety play, right?
Yeah, safety play has been terrible.
Yep.
And the thing is that I honestly believe that Holland's a good player, and I actually believe that Newbin might be I think Newbin is sometimes just not utilized correctly.
Correct.
But I still think that he can play. Like, it's okay that he's not the ball hawk that he was in college. It's fine, but he's still a good young player. I just think he's a little, I don't want to say underutilized. I would say not utilized properly.
He hasn't been developed. He didn't have coaches that could develop him. He's going to have coaches that can develop him. So we'll see what he can do. We'll see.
All right. So just to give you, I just wanted to bring that up, that he worked for Spags. So, you're going to get a lot of Ravens influence. You're going to get, some Kansas City Chiefs influence, right? You're going to get some Broncos influence, which are all good people. And you're right, Rob. Holland did play way better with Bolin as the DC. Like, he came on a little stronger at the end. He's a little injury prone, but he did play a lot better when Bolin let him roam a little bit. Yep. All right. So the last two big moves here. We talked a little bit about Bolin. He's getting some interviews around the league. Matt Robinson's in the house. Addison Lynch is in the house. That was the other team. Addison Lynch not only came from the Broncos, he was at the Chargers. That was the other team. Yep. I forgot to mention. He was at the Chargers and the Raiders. Okay. The other two pieces that fell is Greg Roman.
Yep.
So Greg Roman was with Harbaugh for 5 years, right? For 2017 to 2022, in case you guys aren't keeping up with coaches around the league. He was the offensive coordinator from, the last three of those years, 2019 to 2000. Actually, that'd be 4 years, 2022. He was the offensive coordinator. So one thing about Greg Roman is he knows football. Like, he's just a football guy. You're not going to, like, whether he makes the right call or not, you're not going to, and he's not calling the offense, by the way, right? I mean, he is going to be considered the run game coordinator. But the thing is that he's got offensive, again, back to that term I keep using, doubling down. Here's another guy who he's going to be your run game coordinator, making Scat and Tracy and that line go, right? Yep. But he's also been an offensive coordinator, so he can assist where needed. So he's again, what the theme is that these coaches all have two things they accelerate at. It's not like a guy's like, I don't know anything about the passing coordinator job. I'm just a run game coordinator job. These guys have all done and have dual roles, right? So Greg Roman is coming on after he was let go by the Ravens. He went to work for John's brother Jim in with LA with the Chargers. He was their offense coordinator from 2024 to 25, so 2 years. Now, hypothetically, you could say, the Chargers haven't won anything, but they've won a lot of games and they've gotten a lot more relevant over the last 2 years with Herbert. And you're right, they haven't been able to get over the hump, but I think that Greg Roman knows football. I don't know what your thoughts on Roman, but
well, I mean, he's hired to do what his strength is. That's the thing. Run game coordinator, helping the O-line, also helps with what Matt Nagy's weakness has been, which is running the ball. He's very good with passing game coordinator. That's been going around. Everybody kind of says that's consistent. So now you have somebody who complements, which is what I said at the beginning of the show. These staffing hires are all about complementary pieces. So Greg Roman has the ability to really get that run game going. Nagy can focus on the passing game and calling the plays. We're in a good spot. And you don't think Greg Roman can help with that O-line as well? I mean, let's be realistic. Wherever he's been, the O-lines have been good and with the run game. So that adds to, I'm sure, the next hire you're going to talk about, which, again, he's working with Nagy, and he's also going to be working with our new offensive line coach.
Yeah, like I said, I got a lot of faith in Greg Roman. You don't have to like him, but he's hard-nosed, old-school football dude.
He's been successful with running games everywhere he's been. So you got to separate him as a offensive coordinator and him as handling the run game. His run game has been successful everywhere he's been.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Again, I like a hard-nosed football guy, and he's a hard-nosed football guy. So he's going to love working with Tracy and Scatabo.
Absolutely.
And whether they can get, because I'm cool if Singletary stays. He just needs to take a pay cut.
He'll be gone.
And
they'll bring in somebody else who fits that system.
Yeah, and it's possible. I mean, I like Singletary's hands out of the backfield. Scatabu's got even better hands out of the backfield.
Singletary was kept because he knew Dable's offense. That's why. I would be shocked if he's still there. I would imagine they would bring in somebody who knows what, who
they may draft a running back for all we know.
Yeah, they'll probably bring. My guess, I was talking to somebody with this on Twitter, Average Beast on Twitter, who knows football pretty well. don't be surprised if J.K. Dobbins is signed by the Giants, who has familiarity, playing for the Ravens, played for Harbaugh, played for Jim. So that would not surprise me that he might be the guy that would replace Singletary.
Yeah. The last coaching move that we'll talk about is the O-line coach, which is going to be really important because our all offensive line for the Giants has been ranked 30th or 31st. I mean, I can't tell you how many, 7 out of 10 years, something like that. They've been terrible. And then this year with Carm really working them, they were healthy. The continuity was there. Those guys played well together. And regardless of you like them, you don't, they're sexy, they're not. When Andrew Thomas is healthy, that offensive line just goes, right? It just goes. And you know what? Again, I don't, I probably should have said this during love hate. I hate when something goes well and fans want to get rid of it or change it. Nothing bothers me more than that. Right now, today, unless you're bringing in a can't miss prospect, like a first round pick, and I don't know many teams that pick guards in the first round. Right. Okay. You really got to be rare. Like, what's his name from the Cowboys got drafted in the first round? Zach Martin. Right. Like, unless you're finding that dude, and the Giants are not drafting a guard in the first round, or you're signing like the best guard in free agency, I have no problem with John Runyon Jr. I just don't. And I don't like anybody hating on John Runyon Jr. It's not necessary. Now, he's getting paid a lot of money. He may need to take a pay cut. I don't think he wants to go anywhere. I mean, I'm pretty sure his dad still owns a house here by me.
I mean, is it a lot of money though?
Yeah, he's pretty. He's pretty highly paid. I'm not saying he's a top 10 paid guard.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's respectably paid. I mean, yeah. I mean, I hear you. I just don't think his salary is a big issue.
No, but again, they may ask him to take a pay cut because it's pretty high. But I don't think you change this offensive line. You know what I mean? I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. Like everything right now. Again, what happens to the Giants is we make moves just to make moves. Like you guys hate on JMS. You want to move him out for Linderbaum. We don't know if Linderbaum's going to come here and be the same or work. Like I don't.
Here's what
guess you're gambling on it that it works and it fits. But if it doesn't, you're like,
that's a safe gamble though, getting Linderbaum. And here's the thing is that, and I did some research because you know me, I like to look things up. I just don't put things out there. You could move JMS to guard because he's shown the versatility. Did a little bit at Senior Bowl. A lot of draft experts predicted that he could move to guard. So you could, and that would handle the GVR getting too old if you want to do that. So Linderbaum is way too good, and he understands what Harbaugh wants to do, not to sign him. He could be a difference maker here, and I think it's a really good risk because he's been really good for a very long time. When I looked up what he's done some really good things.
Yeah.
So potentially you can move JMS to guard.
So his new coach is going to be Mike Bloomgreen, or Bloomgren. I should say.
Yep.
So Bloomgren's known for a couple things, depending on how you look at it. If you're trying to find the positive side of things, which is what we really going to try to strive on, right? It's a new season, new coaches, all this great stuff, is that he's in the Callahan tree. So he's got a lot of learning from Callahan, and Callahan's always been considered, one of the best in the game for decades. Everywhere he goes, he's in that tree. He did coach the Browns offensive line last year. But what you need to know, because I know you cats don't look this stuff up, is yes, the Browns sucked. But keep this in mind. There are two things, because this is the same thing that's happened to the Giants. That's why I looked it up. All right. Both opening day tackles got hurt. Okay. Yep. The opening day center got hurt. Yep. They had 10 different combos of linemen in 2025. 10 different lineups. Okay. over 17 games. So again, not completely killing this guy. He didn't have a lot to work with, like the Giants haven't had a lot to work with, right?
He had worse than what the Giants had to work with over the last couple of years.
Yeah, the guy's
and the
literally
amount
lost
of line combinations. And when you look up, even Bill Callahan didn't have a lot of success with all the injuries they had, and he had less injuries to work with than Bloomgren had to work with.
Yeah, opening day tackles gone, right? Opening day center gone. So it's really tough to lose, the middle of your offense. And like sometimes you can kind of plug and play a guard. You can't plug
and one
play
of their starting guards was cast away by the Bears because he was bad with the Bears and was replaced by somebody better. So when you put that into consideration.
Yeah. So the Browns line was a mess. But Mike Bloomgren is a nice coach. I'm not saying he's better than Carm. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to be as bad as all you folks make it out to be.
And he had success in college, at Stanford, and then when he was head coach at Rice, he had success there too. So he's had success at levels. And here's the thing: again, I'm gonna go back to what I said at the beginning of the show. You pair him with Grant Newsome, who had the number one offensive line unit in the country last year at Michigan, really good guy there, and you add Greg Roman to work with both those guys, your line's going to be in pretty good shape. So let's wait to see what happens. Let's not judge them just by what the Cleveland Browns were like. We're too reactionary, and I get it. We haven't won in 12 years. The Giants have done things a certain way for however long. This is not the same old Giants. They're not doing things the same way. There is a method behind the madness right now. Giants fans are just not used to that happening. We're just assuming the worst because that's what it's been for the last 12 years.
Yeah. He also was, like you said, he was the coach at Rice. He didn't have a great record there. I don't know how. It's pretty hard to be good at Rice, but
yeah, it is with who you're playing.
Yeah. So but listen, of all of them, all these coaches have a dual role. They can do two jobs, which is great because then it's not one guy running roughshod over the other guys, right? Because it's different. If you're the only one if you're the subject matter expert in the room and no one else knows what you know, sometimes you're your own worst enemy because you're the only one that knows what you know. But if you've got another guy in the room who's also a subject matter expert, now you've got two people to corroborate the plan, the strategy, and the scheme. If you're the only guy in the room that knows what he's talking about, everyone's going to have to say, well, you know what you're talking about, right? So now there's another voice in the room, which is great.
And he's another guy that's known as a good teacher, Bloomgren. So again, there's a focus behind it.
Yeah. Which leads to Nagy, which we talked a little bit about. I'm just going to segue here for a second. Like, I don't love or hate Nagy, right? But he didn't, Andy Reid was calling the plays, so he didn't get a chance to call the plays. He came here because he wants to call plays, right? He wants to get another shot at being a head coach again. Yep. He did not do well with Chicago. So being, the offensive coordinator, in KC, he got to implement the offense that Reid wanted. He got a voice in the room or a voice at the table. What's your thought on what you saw at a Nagy over the last 4 years? Like, that Kansas City offense is always fun.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thought. Do I have concerns? Absolutely. I feel a lot better about Nagy as the offensive coordinator with Greg Roman coming in. That absolutely made me feel better about it. My hope is that with another 4 years under Andy Reid, he learned some more things and he's coming with 2 Super Bowl championships. So he's a guy that understands what winning programs look like. So if you're trying to change a culture here and you're bringing in a guy who's been to the top of the mountain and won as part of that staff, I'm good with that. And again, here's the thing. John Harbaugh considers Andy Reid his mentor. Reid recommended him, had a lot of good things to say. I'm going to trust Andy Reid with guys that he's done there and it can see. And maybe Nagy came and learned some different things than what he was at Chicago. And again, he's not the head coach, right? Yep. Like, we're looking at him like, oh, he wasn't good because he was the head coach in Chicago. Well, he's not coming here to be the head coach. So I'm hoping he can bring some of those things. He's got some ideas and his expertise is in RPO. And that's going to lead towards Jackson Dart's strengths. So you have a coach, they're building around Jackson Dart on that offensive line. When you look at Nagy and you look at Greg Roman, that's what's going to happen. So I like it from that perspective. Do I have concerns? Absolutely. Of course I do. But let's see what happens.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of good football minds in the room, and that's what you need, because you're basically trying to take this team back to the playoffs, and you need good football guys. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you hire a guy that's not a good football guy. He's just a good manager of people, right? So to me, like Kafka was that. He had no feel for the game, just like how to come up with what was needed. And by the way, when you watch the Super Bowl last night, that's the feeling I got out of Josh McDaniels. They just couldn't come up with anything.
No, I had no answers. He got away. There's things he should have ran the ball more first. They should have traded They should have got Travion Henderson more carries because he was a faster back than Ramondre Stevenson. I think he would have had success. There's different things they could have done. You could have chipped. He just which, hey, I'm not complaining about, because I'm glad the Patriots lost. I didn't want another thing going for them. But you got guys that know how to scheme, get guys open, know how to do things, make adjustments. I mean, that's what we need right now. And again, it's a whole new era. It's a whole new era. Like, we got to buy. I'm sorry, but we got to buy into this. Until proven otherwise, we got to buy into what Harbaugh is doing, because he's earned that, in my opinion. Right?
Let's segue to the quarterback.
All right.
So Dart did a ton of interviews this past week, Super Bowl. Got a chip on his shoulder getting one vote for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
What's your thoughts
on him getting one vote?
Him getting one vote, and his chip that is easily seen.
I think he has a bigger chip over the narrative that's still out there about his style of play. He was on a couple interviews that he did, and he brought that up, and I like how he answered him both ways. I think that's a chip. I like when a quarterback has a chip because it's going to prove people wrong. I think it's a joke. He only got one vote. I think that whole process is a joke, clearly, with that. But I think he knows what he is. He knows what he does. I like how he handles things like that. But I'm all for if you remember correctly, Eli had a chip in 2007 after Tiki said what he said. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go Super Bowl because of that, but I'm saying that quarterback with a chip over, rightfully so, which in my opinion, this is rightfully so. I'm good with it. Let's go. He's going to be more motivated. He's a leader. Yeah. Guys are going to follow him.
And it feels like a little bit of a New York bias. I mean, the guy played against 10 playoff teams. And you know what? I should have brought this up on the love-hate. Now that we're like riffing into things, you know what I hate? Right.
What
you know
what
I hate? I can't stand when quarterbacks who have rushing touchdowns they're discounted, forgotten, not brought up. Like, if my quarterback throws for 15 touchdowns and runs for 15 touchdowns, there should be not one guy in the room complaining, right? No. Because he's got 30 touchdowns.
Exactly.
But they say, you only threw for 15 touchdowns. What about the other 10 that he ran?
Right, exactly.
I mean, he broke a Cam Newton record for a rookie going back to back with a rushing touchdown in a game. Like, how does it just get dismissed? Oh my God, that makes me nuts.
I agree.
Nuts. Like, were they discounting it for Steve Young? No. Were they discounting it for Lamar Jackson? No. Like, this kid, like, they just like it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, the norm should be not the old norm. The old norm was, who cares if you ran for a touchdown? You're throwing for 30 touchdowns a year. Now we have extremely athletic, quarterbacks running RPO. There should be no discounting running touchdowns.
Right.
It just gets under my skin.
Yep. Brian Burns finished fifth in Defensive Player of the Year voting? Like, what the year he had? I mean, come on.
Yeah. In fact, like, there is and feel free to jump in here. Everything is somehow clouded now. The Hall of Fame votes, the Pro Bowl votes, the like everything just seems to be clouded. I don't know if people are making these personal or what, but like it's got to stop.
I mean, I think they're trying to overcorrect for things they've done in the past, and it's messing people up now. Like, okay, here's the thing: love him or hate him, Roger Craig should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago.
Yeah.
So, right, I'm saying, so because he got in, that means somebody else doesn't get in because other things are happening that goes on. And as much as I dislike Rodney Harrison, he confronted Tony Dungy on air and said, "You guys got it wrong by not voting Bill Belichick in," and absolutely right. And I forget, somebody else brought a point, and I like this, and I know we have everybody on, and with all due respect to all the media, I do believe that you should have more players and coaches that are deciding this, because as much as we love our media, they hold grudges. They are favorited towards players who open up to them and give them stories and talk to them. They hold grudges against, coaches and players who don't talk to them, who don't, you know what I'm saying? And that's not how it should be. And I'm not saying all of them are that way, but I think something definitely needs to change with who's on the voting list to make those decisions. When you see some of the names that were on the list of the Hall of Fame voters, like, holy cow, like Emmanuel Acho gets a vote. Like, how does that happen?
Oh my God. And
Stan Monson gets a vote. How does that happen?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on here?
And it's just making everything look so ridiculous. Like there's no credibility at all. I mean, listen, I know we're all Giants fans, right? And we are pro Eli Manning. But our guy West did an article on nygiantsrush.com today. If you're interested in some new content, so Kessler Jr., Spencer Kessler, he writes for us once in a while. There's some good content up there on the website for him. But I told Wes he wanted to write. It's actually less.
Weston.
Yeah, and he wanted to write. So we did a Fall of the Hall is the name of the article on nygiantsrush.com if you guys want to read it.
Yep.
But the point being is that like there are guys in the Hall of Fame named Warren Moon, named Joe Namath, named Troy Aikman, who are Hall of Fame quarterbacks, all have less wins than Eli, have almost all of them have the same exact, completion percentage. They have half the amount of yards. They have half the amount of completions, right? I mean, okay, I got the first round thing. I get it. He's got two epic playoff runs.
Yeah.
He owns the number 1 and the number 2 hardest, best throws in playoff Super Bowl history.
Yep.
I mean, I get the fact he went 117 and 117, but here's the thing. Think about this. He had to make sure he was ready to play every Sunday for 16 years. So all those other guys that have higher completion rates, they played less games. I mean, at the end, Eli Manning's playing with not a great offensive stat.
He didn't have he only played with one Hall of Famer, and that was Michael Strahan, who was on defense. Like when you look at the receiver, sometimes he was thrown to. Yes, he had Cruz. Yes, he had Nix. Yes, he had Manningham. Yes, he had Toomer. Yes, he had Plaxico at times. Yes, but when you look again, 0 Hall of Famers he played with on offense. You can argue that Tiki, right? But then you look later in his career, the O-line aged. He wasn't replaced. Like it's bad. And when you finish in the top 10, when you retire in the top 10 of almost every major quarterback category, then you belong in a Hall of Fame. I'm tired of looking at the win-loss record. Yes. I mean, they talk about the interceptions. Well, how many interceptions did Brett Favre have? We're just picking and choosing. And the defense carried. He statistically, the 2 Super Bowl runs had 2 of the worst defenses in the entire history of the NFL, who just happened to play well in the Super Bowl. But let's not mistake the fact that Eli carried that team in 2011 throughout the year.
And greatness is shown in different ways. I would ask you to find me a quarterback that remotely is available every single week of every single year of every single season throughout their career. Do you know how hard it is to get blasted and hit and tripped and fallen and smacked for 16 years and still play? And then again, yes, you're right. He was a very like conservative type of quarterback, 280 yards and 2 touchdowns, 220 yards and 2 touchdowns, right? Handful of 300s. But the guy was a great fourth quarter comeback quarterback. He beat Brady twice. He had 2 legendary playoff runs. I don't know, like again, Joe Namath, Troy Aikman, and Warren Moon are all in there, and they have less wins. They have the same or less completion percentage. They all have less touchdowns. They all have less yards completed. Would this look different if he had just retired 2 years earlier? Then his record would have been 117 or whatever it is, 110 and 90. Is that all?
Wins and losses is not a quarterback stat. I'm sorry. It's
a team stat.
Absolutely. So to be with that, like that's like saying, okay, so somebody who had a losing record as a quarterback can't be a Hall of Famer. Like that's crazy. If you're on one of the worst teams ever, franchises ever, that's crazy. And he's also wasn't a media darling. So again, there goes to my point of they play favorites when it comes to this.
Yep.
Like he just gets, because he was quiet, he was reserved, he didn't do all these things. Like they don't do the research on what he did. They don't look at things. Listen, for whatever criticism you want to give to Mike Greenberg, and I have this bookmarked on Twitter, he gave the best, like it was like a year before Manning retired. He gave the best argument of why Eli Manning should have been a Hall of Famer. And he's right. When you look at those numbers, and here's the thing, Ben Roethlisberger has 2 Super Bowls. That first one, he was a rookie. He was carried by the entire team. Yep. So if we're going to discount things, we need to discount that for Big Ben too.
The second one was Jerome Bettis, wasn't it?
Yeah. And let's not also forget that the Giants ran the ball a lot in Eli's career as well. We had Jacobs and Bradshaw. Like they were not a pass happy team. They ran the ball. They were pretty consistent. Because that impacts his numbers too.
And he never, like you said, he's always had nice wide receivers, but they got hurt. Cruz had a 3-year window. You know what I mean?
His most consistent receiver was Amani Toomer.
Yep. Yeah. And Amani Toomer was retired halfway through his career. Like they won the, I have to look up when he retired, but he retired early on. Most of Toomer's stats came from Kerry Collins.
Yep.
But I'm just, it's making it all look like the Pro Bowl's a joke. The Hall of Fame's a joke. All this stuff, because you can't write the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady story without Eli Manning, and it's like, what else do you want? Is it stats or is it Super Bowls? Is it MVPs? Is it game-winning drives? Like all of the play matters. And yes, you know what? There are guys that were very conservative quarterbacks, right? That didn't do a lot. Joe Namath, Warren Moon was great, threw for a bazillion yards and never won a damn thing.
No. And Rob, you're right. He didn't win as a rookie. It was his second year, but he still was carried. The Steelers didn't win the Super Bowl because of Ben Roethlisberger that year. So thank you for correcting me on that.
I'm just like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's just like, again, it's really hard to sit there and them tell us, no, this guy's not good enough. Like, what do you mean? Like, look at the game. Look at the game, those 2 Super Bowls. Like, and then, if you take the Super Bowls out, no, let me stop you right there.
Right. You can't take those out. Yeah. Nor can you take those MVPs. And let's look at how many Hall of Famers and the talent that Troy Aikman played with. Like, you put Eli Manning on that Dallas Cowboys team. Like, come on, let's seriously.
And Emmitt Smith and Michael
Irvin, and Alvin Harper, Daryl Johnston. I mean, you look at the old line. How many?
He had Novacek.
Yeah, I mean, he had weapons all up and down the field. And again, listen, am I the biggest Eli fan that's out there? No, but he got me 2 Super Bowls. Am I realistic enough to know that he should be in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. He should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. But again, the Hall of Fame is trying to correct mistakes of being more more critical now of who they let in, and it's hurting some other things. And now he's gonna have to wait because you got some other guys eligible to come up that may stand his way. And I'm saying this: if Big Ben gets in as a first ballot Hall of Famer, I have an issue. Nothing against Big Ben. I think he should be a Hall of Famer, but Eli should be a first ballot if Big Ben's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I got issues with the whole. We're not going to talk about Belichick, but the thing is that if Belichick doesn't go in, Brady doesn't go in, because you're holding Belichick out because he gave you a shitty interview and he let air out of the ball and he filmed you when you weren't paying attention. Well, that all had to do with Brady. So then Brady shouldn't get
Brady
in.
was Deflategate. That was all on Brady. All that was on Brady. So yeah, he absolutely should be held out. But yeah, the grudges got to stop. Like, we got to figure out who needs to be in that committee. And listen, I know some coaches get it wrong. I know some players get it wrong, but I do think it should be predominantly coaches and players. Will they make that happen? Again, that's no disrespect to the media, but I think you got to change something. I think that's the way it's got to be.
Yeah. It's just I'm like,
and so Ryan, if you're watching, it's no disrespect for you, because I know you'll be on here next week and probably giving me crap about it.
I'm just talking again, like, and then like this new rule where if you have one coach, you can't have two coaches. If you have one, like, it should be votes. Just vote on the players.
I know. The fact that Belichick has his defensive game plan from a Super Bowl in the Hall of Fame, and yet he's not in the Hall of Fame. Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's got to stop.
Segueing to, or maybe taking a step back to Nagy.
Yeah.
This week, or maybe it was late last week, Nagy got a ringing endorsement from Tyquan Thornton, he was a second round pick of the Pats a while back, and then he made a home with Kansas City, and he did step up a little bit this year. When they had some injuries, he's like a number 3, number 4, wide receiver. But he said that he really, really likes Nagy, very aggressive, from a scheme builder standpoint. And so there was some thought that Tyquan Thornton could be, maybe potentially follow Nagy to New York. Not that that's a big deal. Again, he's a backup, but I guess if they cut Jalen Hyatt, maybe Tyquan Thornton, who I think he had 500 yards receiving this year, could be a body to, maybe bolster that offensive wide receiver room. But I thought it was at least worth mentioning that Thornton did embrace Nagy.
He did. Mahomes had some good things to say about Nagy as well, which, I'll take. And again, it's not just that, he's being nice. What else he's going to say? Like, you can tell the difference when you're going into certain things and what you're saying. Like, he went well beyond just he's a good coach, but he went into some very specific things, which was good. So again, if he can scheme and get guys open, I'm all for that. Let's see what he does.
So in case you didn't know this, by the way.
Okay.
I'm going to put this on the screen here. I think I have a banner for it. Boop.
By the way, I have some breaking news.
Well, breaking news. Hold on.
I have some breaking news. We're talking about coaches. The Giants are hiring linebacker coach Frank Bush, who was with the Titans. They're now hiring them as their linebacker coach. He worked under Jannard Wilson. So we have I'm guessing he might be the inside linebacker coach, because that's what we needed still. So there we go. Breaking news.
There you go. You heard it here. All right, that's cool. I don't know much about him, but we'll definitely be finding out a little bit more about him in the hours to come. Let me get back to what I threw up here a minute ago.
Yeah.
Because I am doing this. I'm giving away another hat.
All right.
We gave one away last week. So I made I tweeted out to everybody, to go into my tweet, and then underneath my tweet, respond in the comments with hashtag Giants Rush. So, and there are a ton of them out there. So we're also going to be giving away a hat. I've given one away last week to Vin Scam, which I didn't mail it yet, but I'm going to send them both out at the same time. There's a bunch of you that are in the comments commenting away with the hashtag. There might be more this week than last week. They're coming in hard. So I just want everybody to know that, and I'm favoring them all, that we have them, and we're going to give that away. So last week's hat was a Malik Neighbors. This hat is a Jackson Dart hat. So stay tuned to that. Also, put your questions in the chat because we will answer them, pretty soon. We've got one major topic to talk about, and then we're gonna jump into that. I'm not even talking about the Kevin Abrams replacement, Mr. Jay Verdi, because I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Yes, she can do. Yes, she is known for being a capologist, and she negotiates players' contracts and day-to-day operations and stuff. I'm not a fan. Don't love the move at all. I know Shawn likes the move.
I do.
Chris Nails likes the move. I do not like the move. I like the move getting rid of Abrams. I do not like her. I think she's just basically like a Roger Goodell plant. Everywhere she goes, she gets another job, and she works for the worst teams in the NFL. She works for the Jets, the Browns.
But they weren't the worst teams when she was there. The Jets were halfway decent when she was there. Dolphins are a different story. They weren't horrendous when she was there. The Browns, she got there, I think, when they were, But again, I'll say this. I don't care about the win-loss record when you're bringing in somebody who's working on cap and contracts, because did we give any gruff to Kevin Abrams? Did we talk about wins and losses when I take to Kevin Abrams? We look at what they do for contracts. She's got some big things coming up. I think February 27th is when they look at extensions. So I'm going to judge her by what she does with figuring out, because the cap went up huge. We got some restructures. We got some cuts. We got some things can happen. If she can do that, I'm all for it. Just give me somebody who can work a cap better than Kevin Abrams could, because he was awful.
I'm all for it. I'm just not a fan. I got my eye on her because because of all the bad press that came out about her in Miami. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe she's ditched her.
Here's the other thing. She's coming here with knowledge of what the plans the NFL has over the next several years, because they plan things in advance. She knows international games coming up. She knows she may not know exact numbers, but she'll have a pretty good idea that the cap is going to go up significantly over the next couple of years, because they just added another international game next year, Brazil or someplace, and I think one other. That cap is going to go up because of that, the TV contract. So that could be good. Not that she's going to have insider information, but if you work in the NFL office, you're going to have an idea. So that could be an advantage. So I like it.
I'm all for it. Like I said, I didn't like the information I read that came out.
I hear you.
About what she was like with the Dolphins. So I don't need her.
Listen,
I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
If she gets our GM fired, are you really going to be mad?
Kinda.
Why?
Because
you wanted the GM gone.
Yeah, it's not about the GM. It's not about Shane. Just get rid of Shane now. I don't want any drama. I don't want any backhandedness happening when we're trying to go to the playoffs. I don't want any of that. And if she's known for that, which
I think it's one instance, and it's Miami.
It is one instance, but it's one team. It's one team. I don't know about one instance.
Well, it's one instance. And here's the thing, because I know you sent it to me. I read it. Here's the thing. She basically wanted to make sure that she only reported to the head coach. And that was the issue. And Ireland had an issue with that. So when you look at it, I don't think this was a Joe Shane hire. I think this was a John Harbaugh hire. And if she's going to be reporting straight to John Harbaugh, I'm good with that, because here's the other thing to think about, Craig. We know, and you've talked about this on here, Joe Shane has taken a very hard stance when it comes to contract negotiation. He doesn't budge on certain things, right? And that has cost him in the past. She's going to have a different approach. John Harbaugh is going to have a different approach, which can help us retain players and sign better free agents. So that's another reason why I like the move.
I feel not the opposite, but I feel a different bucket is not talked about. It feels like an NFL move to me. She feels very protected by the NFL for me. Because
let me ask, I'm not saying you're not right about that. But what would be the problem with that if we have somebody protected by the NFL working for us?
It doesn't like I can't stand Goodell under any
I
circumstances,
agree.
and I don't like that this like that a handpicked person who's basically shielded by the NFL. I don't know the reason why. Is it because where she went to college? Is it because she's a woman? Is it because she's extremely smart? Is it because her dad worked in the NFL? Like what is it? Why is this one individual being protected and handed
When you say
jobs?
protected, what do you mean by protected?
She gets a job. She gets fired and she
she's
gets another job.
how many people in the NFL get fired and get other jobs? What's his
She
name?
doesn't.
Who's the former Jets coach? Adam Gase just got hired for another job.
Yeah, I know, but it's a coaching job. She's at a very high level, making
She's
unbelievable
a
amounts of
certified
money.
accountant who
What's
just
that?
got hired for that. She's a certified
Yeah,
accountant.
I get it. I know, but again, she's not just. At least what the description is that you're asking my opinion. Why?
I get it. I get it. But okay, so let me ask you this:
I don't
Kevin
like
Abrams. Kevin Abrams' title said he was part of football strategy. How much football strategy do you think Kevin Abrams was part of?
I will say we don't know, but we could maybe assume none because
I think that's a pretty safe assumption.
They don't talk about it. But again, there's not articles written about Kevin Abrams.
I know, I get it.
You know,
yeah, but here's the other thing with Kevin Abrams. You notice the leaks have stopped as soon as he was fired, right?
I guess I didn't make a big deal out of that. I know you think that was a big deal. That didn't bother me as much. Listen, if that's the case, cool. Again, I'm not. Your points are valid. You're asking me what I don't like, and I don't like that she always has a job. It's not like she's out of a job and they're like, "Hey, so and so is looking for a job." She gets a job 5 minutes later. Like,
well, because when you read it, I hear you, and I understand your concern. But when you read into her more, it's because everybody values how good she is at her job. That's what it is. Like she's now, everybody gets fired in this thing.
No, but I'm saying,
here's the biggest reason why I like it. Who's the first person to hire? Who hired her in Miami? Do you know?
Wasn't it Ross?
No, it was Bill Parcells.
Oh, you mean when she started? Yeah,
when she started, Bill Parcells hired her. So if Bill Parcells trusts her and brings her on, and I'm sure that had a lot to do with why she conflicted with Jeff Ireland, because she probably had something set up with Parcells and she didn't want to report to Jeff Ireland. Again, I get it, but let's see what she does, because she's here. She's here for contracts and salary cap.
Yep, I hope she can negotiate contracts and she managed the cap, all that good stuff. I'm just. Here, I'm going to put this on the screen because this is it. Craig Spider tends to say, because it don't sit with me. You know what I mean? Like, again, like you get fired, you get a job 5 minutes later. She doesn't have to work to get a new job. Goodell's always looking out for her. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure she's great, but 3 teams did fire her. And, and there's all these articles about her going behind the coach, the GM's back.
Wait, did Miami fire her, or she left to take an NFL position?
I don't think she
got let go. I think I'll have to look it up again. I think she chose to go to the NFL office.
I have to look it up because they got fired.
Where's Mark Thompson when you need him?
Yeah, right.
Let me look it up.
But again, I'm just making a point. She feels a little protected, and it feels a little heavy-handed by the NFL. I feel it's kind of like Harbaugh saying to Goodell, "Hey, do you have anyone that can fit in this role?" And he's like this, "I just so happen I do. I get her a job every time she needs one."
First of all, he has not gotten her a job every time. She's been working for the NFL for the last 8 years, the NFL office. He did not get her hired in Cleveland. He did not get her hired in Miami.
Don't know that.
He did not get her hired in New York. Bill Parcells hired her in Miami.
I bet you that Harbaugh reached out to Goodell and said, "I'm looking for a capologist. Do you know anybody?" And he went, "Of course I do. I take care of her."
You think John Harbaugh is with 18 years in the NFL? You think that John Harbaugh is calling up Roger Goodell to ask for somebody who is good?
or I mean, I shouldn't say like he
Play
might
your
not
"It's good to
call-
be the king" because that's a spot right there where it's good to be the king to make that statement. Go ahead, play it.
Yeah,
Play
yeah,
it.
all right, yeah. I'll go. See, now you're encouraging me to play this, and this isn't my request, by the way. This is his request, so I'm going to have to play it.
It's good to be the king.
Yeah, see, Spidey sense, and listen, she may do great. I'm just saying my Spidey sense is a little bit tingling.
Yeah, and she
let's
was
talk
not
about
fired by the Dolphins.
What's that?
She was not fired by the Dolphins.
Of course she wouldn't. Of course she wasn't.
She wasn't. I just looked it up. While you were playing your clip, I looked it up.
But you told me to play the clip.
So I could look it up.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Since we talked about, and again, cheers to Julian Love and Leonard Williams for Seattle winning the Super Bowl. I was definitely rooting for them. Drake May did not play well.
Whoa.
And by the way, all you people that are like jumping off the Drake May bandwagon, just settle down. He's a 2-year quarterback. I mean, like,
I'm going to put this up because we want to give some more info because our man Rob did some research on our new linebackers coach. I'm going to put this up on the screen. It's smaller there.
Do my research now. Frank Butch coached some good ones inside and outside. The inside guys, DeMarco Ryans, Cushing, Keith Bullock, all made Pro Bowls with him. All right, that's cool, Rob.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob, for looking that up.
Those are 3 really good linebackers too.
Right. And our inside linebackers need a lot of work right now.
By the way, like it's actually encouraging, like because I mean Brian Cushing was a nut job, and DeMeco Ryans was an animal. Yep. I mean, and
Keith Bullock was just Mr. Steady, like he was good year after year.
Yeah. So if they bring McFadden back, I've been trying to get an interview with him, but I think he might be waiting to see if he gets signed. I'd have to think they bring McFadden back on the cheap because he got hurt, but I would think that this linebacker coach could really help out. Not that McFadden is overly the biggest dude. You know what I mean? He only plays at like 235. Yeah. Maybe he can put a little bit of weight on. And they're potentially going to draft a linebacker.
And here's another thing to make you look good right now, Craig. So one of my guys, Stretch, who was a big fan of New York Giant Rush, sent me a message that so Bush has 33 years in the NFL. He was a defensive coordinator for the Texans in 2009 and 2010, and he was the interim defensive coordinator for the Jets in 2020. So there's what you said earlier, that coaches that can do multiple things.
It's just happening. Yep. It's literally happening. Every guy can do more than one thing, which is super encouraging because these guys should be able to pick each other up. Like I said, go back to what I said before. It's not one guy dictating what we're going to do. It's multi guys talking about what they're going to do because they can do more than one thing.
Yep.
Thanks, Stretch. Appreciate that. All right. Elephant in the room is something that is not really being discussed, but it is starting to come to light a little bit that this is real. Do you know, Shawn, what the Giants gave up to get Jackson Dart?
They gave up a 3rd round pick, and I don't remember what else, but I know a 3rd round pick this year for sure.
Yep. Okay, so the Giants don't have a 3rd round pick, which is kind of hurts. Definitely hurts. Like to me, the 3rd round is a potential starter. At some positions, right? Kayvon Thibodeau is going into his 5th year option. It's costing the Giants $14.7 million to play in 2026. He did not have he hasn't had not even close to the year that he had 2 years ago when he had 11.5 sacks. He's been injured. He's been down. There's this talk that he potentially could be traded so the Giants could possibly get a 3rd round pick because he was a 1st round pick, and that would make some sense. Mm-hmm. So there could be a trade so the Giants could get a 3rd rounder. They've got now Carter, of course, and Burns on the other side. What's your thought on trading Kayvon? Now, the other side is that, of course, that they keep him, and the pass rush really benefits from all these great defensive minds they have, and he has a great 5th year option, which forces the Giants into a minimum of a new 3-year, 4-year optional deal. So thought would be is, do you want to trade him for for a player? But more likely is you would trade him for a draft pick.
I'm not trading him for a draft pick. Now, let me say this. If you're not going to re-sign him, then yes, you can try to trade him so you get something back. He doesn't walk for nothing. I really want to see what Kayvon's going to do when he has even better coaching. He had better coaching this year, and again, he was more of an all-around player. So I do want to see that. He was definitely a better all-around player. There's no about it. He definitely was a better all-around player this season. It's been documented everywhere. So, and then we just saw again another Super Bowl where pass rush dominated. So you can never have too many pass rushers. So I'm not eager to get rid of a thing. I'm not concerned about them not having a 3rd round draft pick. It's not how many picks you have, where you're making the picks. It's what you do with the picks that you have. So I'm okay because we gave up a 3rd round pick to get our franchise quarterback. So that's a trade-off right there, right? So you got a 1st, 2nd round, and then whatever, 4 other picks. You make those other picks count. Now, if you can make something work, if you trade down, whatever, I just want football players. I want good guys. Kayvon is, from all accounts, what he said, he wants to be coached by a guy like John Harbaugh. And I think that will push him. I think that will be a better thing for him. And I don't care about money. The Giants are going to have a ton of money by the time he's ready to sign a new contract. Like, they're going to have a lot of cap room. So let's see what he does this year. Let's see how it goes. I'm not trading him for a 3rd round pick. I'm just not. I'm not.
Well, you might get more than a 3rd round pick.
Now, if it's for a player, that's a different story. If it's for a really good, solid player, that's a different story. But just for a 3rd round draft pick this year, I'm good. Keep him.
It's going to be interesting, though. It really is, because the Giants do need to stock up on a handful of positions, right? They are really thin at corner. They are really thin at wide receiver. They are really thin at inside linebacker. They're really getting thinner at guard, right? So I guess depending on what they do with Bellinger, they may be thin at tight end. So it'll definitely be interesting. Hey guys, make sure you put your questions in the chat, because we're going to get to one last drive here in a second, and we're going to answer your questions. So make sure you put your questions in the chat if you want them answered. Here's the thing about Thibs for me. I was not a fan in the beginning, because again, I have a buddy that lives in Oregon and saw him play. And, I've told you the story a million times how he nailed it before it happens. And everything he said was true. The guy just disappears in big chunks, right? He's a nice player. He's a nice player. Carter is way more talented.
Sure.
I think we're going to see a lot more out of Carter with this new defensive group and these coaches. I don't know if his 5th year option is 14.7. I can only imagine what he's going to want to get paid, right? Because he's all into his brand and the fashion that he wears and the sunglasses and his image and this and that. I don't know if there's room to pay him that kind of money. He's going to want a ton of money. I'm assuming he's going to want a 4-year deal. And I just don't know if we could depend on him for 14 years to do something, because he's a 1st round pick. He's going to get paid this crazy amount of money. And I don't know. I guess if he just showed a little bit more and he could stay healthy, maybe I would swallow it. But
that's my biggest concern is the health. But he showed more this year. He put in the effort in the off season. He did different training. He became no doubt. I still believe you got to move him to defensive end in a 3-4. I think that'll be so. All he's got to do is get upfield. He's got to do it. He doesn't have to drop in coverage. He doesn't have to do any of that stuff. He was a 4-3 defensive end in college. I think he should move him to defensive end.
And I think he's talented, and I think he can do it when he wants to. I just getting shackled with a 4-year deal at 12 to 15. I don't know, man. It's just, and I'm not one to skimp on money. I'm usually just pay him. I don't give a crap. I don't know. It's a lot
So
of
what
money.
if the Giants are going to have 100 million in 2027? Does that 12 to 14 million seem as bad to you?
Yeah, because you're gonna in what year did you just say 27?
2027. When he's due for a contract, they're going to have upwards to 100 million or more, I believe.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to sign other dudes, right? Like at that point, like that whole class is gonna have to get signed. Like Phillips is gonna have to get signed. Neighbors is gonna have to get signed. Like I just don't know if who are you gonna pay? Neighbors or are you gonna pay Thibodeau? You're gonna pay Neighbors.
Neighbors isn't gonna get paid for another. He's got 5 years. He's only been 2 years in the league. You got 3 more years out of that.
No, well, no, he just missed this year, right? So he's got
his second year.
This is his third. Third. It's his third year, and you said 26, 26, 27, going into 28.
Yeah, going into 28, which their cap is going to go up more in 28 as well.
I know. I'm just making a point that I don't know. So right now he's in 26 is his 5th-year option. So 27 is when he would get paid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to see who's a free agent that year.
Yeah, it's going to matter. And again, projections don't mean that's what he's going to get, right? Like that he could get less than that. He get, like people think that Illuminor is going to want and get paid a lot, but his projections right now are not that high. They're very doable range. So let's see what he does this year. I just want to see him with really good coaching. Like his best year was with Wink, which was good, right? Really good. And then he had Bowen for 2 years. Like
I just don't love his game and paying him top dollar. Like, like even though Carter didn't have this like gangbusters year, I like his game. Like I like the motor. I like that. Like have you ever seen Thibs on a twist stunt? No, because he can't get there. He doesn't have the drive to get there.
That's not true.
I'm just telling you, when I watch him play,
he's done twists and stunts this year. His motor was a lot better this year. I'm not saying he didn't have it in the past, but again, there's a lot. People think he disappears because he doesn't get sacks all the time. There's a lot of guys in the Giants who didn't get sacks this year. That happens. But when they've sent him on twists and stunts, he's created some havoc. He did. Here's again. You got to look who he was under. Like, I hear your point. I know what your guy in Oregon said. I get it. I watched him in Oregon as well. I understand it. But when you watch him under Wink and then you watch him under Bowen and then you watch him this year from what he was before, he keeps getting better and better. He just needs really good coaching. Now, if he struggles this year, if he's injured again this year, boom, gone. Rob said that in the thing too. I agree with that. But if he performs this year and he stays healthy under this coaching staff, you got to pay him. You gotta pay him.
I just can't. Yeah, I'm probably never going to change unless he's got unless he has a 15 sack, 60 tackle season. It won't make a difference to me because all I know is that I look at Aiden Hutchinson, and if he can't play like Aiden Hutchinson, or he can't play like TJ Watt, or he can't play like Chris Jones, or if he can't play like he never leads any categories. He's not
going to get paid like those guys. That's the thing. He doesn't need to play like those guys because he's not going to get paid like those guys.
I know, but the thing is, they need him as a first-round pick to play at that level. He's not a second-round pick. He's a top 5 pick.
I get it, but do you know how many first-round picks don't play at that level, though?
I know, but guess what happens? They don't get paid. You want to pay him for not playing.
First of all, they can get a second contract. I'm not saying pay him top dollar. I'm saying get him another contract. Keep him on the Giants.
He's not coming here unless he gets paid top dollar because he thinks he's awesome.
We'll see.
Yeah. And again, it's not that I dislike him. He's a very disappointing player. When you need him to make a play, he's never there. Like, Burns, I think, hasn't even reached his limit yet. I think there's so much more on the table for Burns. We already know how much more is on the table from Carter. I just don't see a guy that loves football. I don't see a guy that makes plays happen. He makes the plays that he's supposed to. Sometimes he misses the plays he's supposed to, and he's around the ball. Like, that's not a guy I want to go pay $15 to $16 million for.
Let's see what he does this. I get it. Let's see what he does this season. You may see a different Thibs. You may not, but I think you see a different Thibs this season because I saw a different Thibs last season and he didn't have quite the coaching that he had. Again, Bowen lit a fire under Bolin, not Bowen. Bolin lit a fire under Thibs. Let's see if Denard Wilson, those guys can put him in the different looks, different spots on the field, and really unleash him. I don't think Thibs should be dropping back in coverage. I think he should be on the line. I don't think he should be the outside linebacker. I think that's what's hurting him. Because that's the other reason why his numbers don't show up either. Like, he's dropping more than people realize. So you can't get those sack numbers. It's like Carl Banks, right? And I'm not comparing and saying Thibs and Carl Banks are the same type of player. What I'm saying is,
you might get run out of town.
Let me be clear. But Carl Banks got overshadowed because Lawrence Taylor was getting all the sack numbers because Carl Banks was dropping in coverage a lot. Thibs is dropping in coverage more than people realize. And that's what's impacting his sack numbers.
I don't even really that's the thing. I don't really care about the sack numbers. I just want him to play like JPP, and he can't.
But JPP didn't drop in pass coverage.
I'm just saying, even when he's not in pass coverage, he's not an overly aggressive defensive end.
I get it. Let's see what he does this year.
All right, so take your phone out, my friend.
Oh, geez,
and go to my Twitter feed and look up all those people that hit up NY Giants Rush in there. There's a good 40 of them.
Yeah, I got to get to it. Hold on a second. Because I'm popular, so I got a lot of tweets coming up.
Oh God, did that just happen?
Yep, it did. Absolutely. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm on the live one. I got to find. Where's your thing?
Because I'm going to give away. This Jackson Dart hat from the Number Cap Company. So, hey, if you don't win one and you like them, they've got. Listen, Mr. Scattaboo, believe it or not, wears one of these hats. Okay, so they got Scattaboo, they got Neighbors, they got Dart. They also make them for other sports like the Knicks and the. I'm assuming they make the Jets, but
all right, I got it now. You had two different ones, so I had to find the right one.
Yeah. Okay. You might have to go to the second one if the number's high. So anyway, I
got it.
Check out, the Number Cap Company. They make great products. If you don't win one, let me get my numerator up here. All right, here we go. So this is for the Jackson Dart hat from the Number Cap Company. Check them out. They're firsthand experience. Shawn bought one for his nephew, and it was awesome. He said,
"Yes, my nephew loved it."
Okay, so this is how it works. There's a number on the screen right there. It says 17. Can you see that or no?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't done it yet.
No.
Is that the number?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm showing everybody that, so it's not, Cole's not here, but he's always telling me it's rigged. So what this does is when I touch it, it changes the number.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So, I'm trying to catch it in the light.
Yep, I got it. Go ahead.
All right.
Pick a number.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Yep. 22.
Take a minute so you can talk.
Yep. So, remember, Number Cap Company. The winner is going to be number 22. He's looking through to find the 22nd tweet with the hashtag NY Giants Rush. Hey, if they give me more hats, I'll give them away. But if not, don't be a cheapskate. Go buy one. They are very cool.
So the winner is Dave Dobbs. His Twitter handle is @DobbsOutdoors.
Dobbs Outdoors.
Yep.
Dave Dobbs. Dobbs with 2 B's?
Yes.
All right, Dave Dobbs. Make sure you respond to me with your address or Shawn there. Dave Dobbs, Dobbs Outdoors. You've won the Jackson Dart hat from the No Cap Company. For the rest of you peeps, go buy one. They're not expensive, and it's a really good product. Make sure you check them out. And they make other sports and stuff like that. So again, Dave Dobbs, you have won the Jackson Dart number 6 cap.
I'm going to tweet him now, let him know he won.
Yep, let him know he won. And that segue leads to this. Boom. One Last Drive is where I answer all your questions. If you have questions, put them in the chat. There wasn't a lot of questions in there before, so this might be a short segment. Let's see. I'm scrolling to the top. Let's see what I can see in here. Giants in the Super Bowl in 28. I like that, Jake. Hard facts. Let's see. Didn't decide to fire Shane after the season. I'm still looking.
I think 8 p.m. is the first question.
Which one?
8 p.m. is the first question.
8 p.m. We have 8 p.m.
Mr. J. Verde or Verde.
All right, let me show that one. Did they hire a QB coach yet? I will give that one to you.
They have not hired a QB coach as of yet. That'll be an interesting hire to see who that is, but no, not as of yet. I believe that's the only position or only coach left to be hired.
Yeah, and I did see Jay Verdi. I did see a note. I'm gonna look it up for you right now because I just saw who was gonna get an interview for the position.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I saw it like an hour ago, but I got to see if I can find it now. I think let's see, Giants. You can talk while I do this.
Yeah, well, actually, I got another question coming up. I'll pull up another question while you do that. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, so B. Kess, our man Brad, am I crazy to want Caleb Downs at 5? No, you're not, because I want Caleb Downs at 5. We just watched Devin Witherspoon actually impact the Super Bowl last night for the Seahawks. Can you imagine Caleb Downs in that role? Because again, Mike McDonald, Denard Wilson run a similar defense. So no, you're not crazy. I want Caleb Downs at 5 as well. The guy is a defensive weapon. And with how things are going, yeah, give me Caleb Downs at 5. I would be perfectly good with that. So
heck
no,
yeah.
You're not crazy.
No, that's and that's kind of like I would think like the leading dog in the show, right?
Yeah, there's some people that said that there hasn't been this talented of a safety project since Eric Berry. Arguably, you could say that. I'll take that. This is a guy. And again, here's the thing about Caleb Downs that you read about. He's a football junkie. He's smart. He's a chess piece on that field. That's what you want. And we've talked about this before. Harbaugh drafted Kyle Hamilton, at a time.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if I'm not saying he is definitely the guy, but I would not be surprised if there's that guy to fit this defense and what this defense needs and what they can do.
All right. So this is what was 2 hours ago that I saw. This came out, believe it or not, from Arizona State, right? So it's devilsindetail.com, which is the Arizona, I guess, website that covers the Arizona State football team.
Yep.
And it says here that the Giants are interviewing Marcus Arroyo.
Oh, yes.
And
they interview him for OC as well, I think.
Well, it says that Arizona State put up top 5 offenses in the Big 12 over the last 2 seasons under Arroyo's leadership. So I guess he was the OC. That was mostly due to talents of Scadaboo. Let's see. What are they also saying?
I did see that because I think he interviewed recently.
Yeah.
And it could be getting draft intel on Jordan Tyson as well.
Now, according, let's see, drafted by 10th player in the program selected. So this is from 2 days ago. I don't know if that interview happened or not. I don't know if that interview happened or not, but it says
they did. Yeah. I think I remember that name coming up before too.
Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. I don't see anything else in here about it. That was the only one that I saw. Still looking, but mostly that it's 2 days ago, 4 days ago, 3 days ago. Everybody's talking about, when's this one from? 4 days ago. Pretty much everything's from over the weekend says Brian Arroyo.
Yeah.
Not saying he's going to get the gig, but he's right now seems to be what everybody's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I have in here? Nope. Okay. Here's one. Kayvon is pumped to play. I guess it's supposed to be Kayvon pumped to play for Harbaugh. Am I right? I mean, everything I know, everybody's pumped to play for Harbaugh. But yeah, 100%. I'm sure he's pumped. Like I said, you've got some really good guys coming in that are gonna run the defense, right? You got 2 line coaches, 2 linebacker coaches. This, from what I read, as I said this 2 weeks ago, is Denard Williams is going to let the guys up front do what they want to do as long as they get there and they do well, so he can focus on the corners and the safeties, right? Now he's going to need a really good inside linebacker to run the show. I'm assuming if they draft a linebacker, they would sign McFadden to cut Okereke to save the money. McFadden wears the dot. If McFadden goes and Okereke goes, then that's going to be a large shoes to fill because you're not going to draft 2 rookie linebackers. Somebody's going to have to get signed. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is those front guys, they're going to have to depend on the guys behind them. So if they're being coached up, safeties and corners are being coached up, just from a standpoint of stability, McFadden would kind of settle that down a little bit. You're going to need a guy to run alongside him. I know Okereke had a decent year at the end of the year. Bringing him back, though, is going to be a little rough. I would think Kayvon is excited to play for Harbaugh because of how good that pass rush is. And that's why I mentioned before about them bringing in this Matt Robinson. He's the schematic guy behind the X's and O's. So what else do I have in here? Anything else on the question side?
Yeah, I got one here.
You got one? What time?
I just pulled it up.
Oh, the trade for Slayton.
Yeah, what do you think? Probably a 6th rounder, I would imagine they could get for Slayton.
Yeah, and he was a late pick to begin with, and the guy's been in the league for 6 years, and he doesn't even have a 900-yard receiving year. I don't think. I think his best year was 7-something. Right? I can look that up.
I think so, or maybe 8. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, again, probably somebody you include in a player trade.
Let's see. Rob's killing us. He said, come on, guys. We need at least 3 pass rushers. We don't need him to be O.C. Strahan. We need to be Kiwanuka. Here's the thing, Rob. Remember, Kiwanuka was moved to outside linebacker for half his career there, right? So, excuse me. Now, I was going to hit the mute button, but I couldn't get there fast enough. So I hear you. If he was Kiwanuka, by the way, we interviewed Mathis Kiwanuka 2 years ago. It's on the NY Giants Rush interview channel on YouTube. If you want to see that, he was a really good guest, by the way. And they moved him to outside linebacker, then back to DN. Like, you're right. Like I said, but I mean, Kiwanuka made a lot of plays. So if Kayvon stays healthy, 15 games plus, 14 games plus, then we'll get more out of him. But he misses a chunk of season every year. So, it's frustrating when he's not around because you need him to, you need that diversity up front. So, let's see. Do I have?
I got one for you. I got one for you. I'll ask, and there's one other one after this. So, are we doing a draft party again? Brad wants to know.
Yeah, we've done the draft show. This will be I want to say this is year 5. So, in case you guys don't know about the draft party we are live all day Thursday, all day Friday. Well, the draft doesn't start till late. So, we're on from like 6 to 10 on Thursday, 6 to 10 on Friday. And then I turn it over to the guys. If they want to do a Saturday show, they can do a Saturday show. I don't do the Saturday show. But what we do is we all get together and the whole team gives me 10 to 15 people they want to send invites to. I send invites out and you get to come on the show and hang out with us for 10, 15 minutes live on the show. It's a fun show. It's long as hell, but it's always fun. Now I got a lot of crap for, who I have host the show and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I am going to say there's no reason not to do it. You know what I mean? Like there's no reason not to do it, but I do need a sponsor this year. So I can do more cool stuff. So maybe the No Cap company may come through and be a sponsor. We've got our friend Jeremy that's out there that I spoke to today. So we might have a sponsor in the mix there. The answer is yes. We will be doing a draft party again, without a doubt. What's the other one?
Rob has the last question.
What time?
9:01.
9:01 says, do you guys want Okereke back on a pay?
Cut was the next one. He put it right after. So
pay cut. I'll let you take that.
Yeah, if he's gonna cut and pay and it's gonna help us with the cap, yeah, I'll take him back. Because we need depth, and if he can do something, absolutely. So it's got to be a pretty sizable pay cut.
Yeah, 100%. Here's the thing. Let's just be realistic for a second. Bobby Okereke's got a lot of pride. Was a really good player. He got hurt with the back injury. I don't know how much he recovered. I don't see Bobby Okereke taking a pay cut. Not in his status. Now, he's gotten into politics and he's gotten into a lot of stuff. I think he likes the area. I think he might entertain it something. I just don't see a guy at his stature, wanting to take a pay cut. He may think he has life left in him. I just thought he played, and that's sad because I'm a huge fan. I really like Bobby Okereke. That first year was great. That second year started a little slower and he got better. He just looked lost last year. We all said that, hey, he started slow under Wink too. It'll come on. And he did. Right. But this year he started off slow and he got slower. And then Bolin seemed to make a little bit of a difference for Okereke.
It did.
He had those 2 interceptions. He threw me off with that one game. I don't know if it was against the Patriots or if it was against I can look it up, but he just doesn't leave his feet anymore. There's no tackling by Bobby Okereke. He just wants to push you out of bounds or give you a shoulder, and we need a linebacker that's going to smack dudes. You know what I mean? Like where if I could put McFadden's instinct and style in Okereke's body, then you'd have a great potential linebacker.
Yeah.
So you might as well just draft one and cut Okereke. But if he comes back with a pay cut, he's going to want to start. There's no way you go from captain to backup.
Yeah, no. I'm going to throw a hot take out there real quick.
Go for it.
My hot take is Sonny Styles could get drafted at number 5. And then my other hot take, which might not be a hot take, Jacob Rodriguez in the second round or Anthony Hill Jr. in the second round.
I think that Downs and Caleb are the 2 that people are talking about the most. Like, it seems like at 5, both of those could make sense.
Downs and Styles?
Styles, yeah.
Yeah. I don't care about positional value either. You get football players. If you're at 5, you don't take them at 5. If Downs is gone, if you take Styles at 5, I'm fine. I don't care about positional value.
And if you take what do you call it to play safety, he's going to play next to Holland because Holland's getting paid tremendous amount of money.
And then you can move. Newman can go into like some sort of like hybrid, like Joker role or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I told you, Denard likes to move the slot corner out off the field, and he puts a safety in there, which is almost now like a box safety. So that's where Newman can play. I'm trying to think of the safety. I can't believe I just blanked on his name. When they won the Super Bowl in Deion Grant. In 2011, Deion Grant, which was a corner / safety, played that role, and he played it really well. And that could be something that happens to Newman, and they draft the safety. The other one on there's no way. Well, again, the linebacker spots is very simple. We only have 2 that can play, McFadden and Okereke. Okereke has to take a pay cut, and then they draft, what's his name? McFadden's going to come, I guess, cheaper because he got hurt. Right. So he'll probably be flexible. Okereke's not coming back if he sits. McFadden doesn't want to lose his job, but he's going to have to fight for the job.
Right.
But if you're trying to save money, if our new cap queen, if you're her you're most likely cutting Okereke, moving McFadden over, so he's like becomes the stability, right? Because he knows how to run the defense and he knows how to use the helmet. And then you bring in the rookie to go bonkers. Look at the linebacker from Seattle last night. The 43 or whatever his name was. I don't know his name.
Well, see, it's also going to depend on it's a new defense. So does Bobby O know that defense better than McFadden knows that defense? Like you know what I'm saying? Like we can guesstimate who's going to do what, but we don't really know who's going to pick up and understand that defense. You know what I'm saying? So
no, we don't.
Could be a monkey wrench with who they keep, who they go.
I think money-wise, Okereke is making a lot of money, and I don't.
And the Ravens have been known for having good inside linebackers, so
yeah,
we'll see.
And defensive ends, right? The whole Suggs and all those guys that followed Suggs,
and good cornerbacks,
good corners. Yeah, so I don't know what they're going to do. So Styles, I mean, they could also trade back. You know what I mean? But
they could.
Styles definitely would be a first day starter. I just think, if anything, like Bobby's not taking a pay cut. But I know he likes the area. Like I said, he's gotten into a lot of politics and stuff like that. Yeah. So he might want to stay. That would mean, hey, don't re-sign McFadden. But again, you need backups too, by the way.
Well, I mean, Flanagan Foles, Muasau, could be there as a backup. I know he hasn't played well, but again, he's year 2. He's a 7th round pick. I'm just saying for depth.
Terrible.
For depth pieces.
Yeah.
And
Muasau's terrible, but he's a slightly serviceable backup.
And again, maybe he plays better with it. I think in that defense, everybody was thinking too much. Bowen had those guys thinking, and then Bolin had those guys playing aggressive without thinking, and some guys stepped it up more. So that could be the case here. Like, I'm not judging anybody in that defense until Denard Wilson takes over. Like, then I'm going to judge guys more.
Yeah. And there's not a big free agent linebacker pool.
No. Well, there's one guy I would go after, Demario Dawson from the Saints. I don't care how old he is. I would absolutely bring that guy in.
I think Leo Chenal from Kansas City I think
Bobby Wagner's a free agent too.
No offense. Bobby Wagner is going to the Hall of Fame. There's no way he's leaving. Either he's retiring or he's staying.
He moved from Seattle to Washington. I know he's going to stay with Quinn. I get that. So Demario Dawson would be the guy that I would go after.
Yeah. Like, I like Leo Chenal too, but he's so good. I don't see why the Chiefs would let him walk.
No.
But yeah, Dawson, like they could go after a guy and say, hey, we're going to draft the wide receiver and not draft the linebacker or the safety and not draft. So the Giants have needs. They have big wide receiver needs, big linebacker needs, big corner needs. Like, those are like the 3 that stick out the most. So it's a tough question to answer. Like, do I want Okereke back on a pay cut? I'm not sure. Yes, because I want to save the money. But how much would he actually take a pay cut for? I mean,
even if it's a few million,
but again, when the cap goes
up there, and he's going up there in years, so he may be more willing. And you know what I'm saying?
My point is saving a few million doesn't matter. The cap's going up. You know what I mean? His Okereke's issue is he's got to just play better.
Yes, but if you say, what's he scheduled to make? I forget next year, but let's say you save 3-4 million, that can make an impact for somebody else coming in. Absolutely. And somebody just asked, you think we'll get a fullback now? I think we do. I think.
Oh,
although
100%.
Yeah, with Roman running the run game, I think we do. Nagy from the Chiefs, they didn't really have. Well, they had one for a little bit, but I think I would not be surprised to see Patrick Ricard come here, and I would not be surprised to see Elijah Chapman move to fullback full time,
or Bellinger.
Yeah, or Bellinger.
Okay, you ready, Bobby Okereke? All right, so Bobby Okereke in 2026 base salary is $5.8 million. That's the same as it was last year. He has a signing bonus of $3 million. He has $2.4 million that got restructured.
Okay.
He's got a roster bonus of $3 million. He's got a workout bonus of $200,000. His cap hit, holy shnikes. His cap hit is 14.46 million.
Wow.
Which is almost 5% of the entire team.
Yeah.
4.77%. If you're rounding up.
It depends if he's a pre-June 1st or post-June 1st to save that money to look at that, or they'll just restructure him.
Yeah, and then his dead cap money, which is way livable, by the way, cutting him, it's only going to cost them $5.4 million.
Yeah, he's a very high cut candidate for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's any notes in here. He gets that $3 million roster bonus if he makes it to the third league day of 2026. So they can save $3 million
by cutting him.
By cutting him before the third day of the league year. I don't know what in the league year.
It's like March 4th. I think it's March 1st or March 10th. Something like that. Because the legal tampering is like March 9th, I think.
So think about this. His dead cap money is 5.4, but you're saving $3 million. Cutting him is only going to cost. He's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, I think so. I agree.
5.4 in dead cap, but you save $3 million on cutting him early. So that means his number is $2.4 million to cut him.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not see that coming.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel bad, but that writing's on the wall.
I believe so. And I mean, if you cut Singletary, that saves more money too. There's a couple other guys that if you cut, like, open up a lot more cap room for the Giants. And again, they're not going to keep too many guys because Harbaugh's going to he's going to want to bring in a lot of his guys from the Ravens that he can. And, maybe I think it's going to be majority. I don't see too many Chiefs guys coming over, but I would think a majority. You got 3 big names for the Ravens that are free agents. You got Isaiah Likely, you got Linderbaum, and you got Patrick Ricard. And there was a rumor out there that said that maybe they try to trade for Marlon Humphrey.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I did not see that coming, by the way.
Yep.
Because he's got
either take a pay cut or you're gone. That's really his options.
Yeah, I mean, a pay cut of $14 million, but the dead cap money is $5.4 million. Where it was the opposite last year. Last year he had the same cap hit, $14 million, but his dead cap money was $14 million. So they couldn't cut him last year.
Nope.
And like I said, and the roster bonus for back-to-back years has been the third day of the league year. So it's crafty. It's definitely crafty, no doubt about it. But I mean, for $2.4 million, who gives a crap?
Exactly.
Now, you just go right to them and say, look, we want to redo your deal, and let me see, where's 5.8 in base salary, 3 in bonus, 2.4 they owe him in a restructure, 300 roster, which if they cut him before it goes away, I mean, I don't know, man.
I mean, you can change some of that in the signing bonus or something like that too, right? That roster, I think he's probably cut unless he takes a pay cut. That's my thought. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'll give Abrams a little bit of credit. His first 2 years on the team, 23 and 24, he didn't have a roster bonus.
Okay.
So in 25 and 26, he has a roster bonus of $3 million. That's pretty ingenious because if they cut him, they saved the $3 million.
Exactly.
So that was pretty smart. So we got to give Abrams a little bit of credit there.
We will. A little bit.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. I'm hoping to have Ryan Dunleavy back. And I think we're going to see some more things happen this week for the Giants. I'm sure the Super Bowl trophy, maybe Leonard and Julian still have some friends back here in the East Coast. Maybe the Super Bowl will make its way towards Jersey. Yep. Otherwise, we'll be here, I'm pretty sure, with Dunleavy next week. And we're out. We'll see you guys then.